Hi everyone, hope everyone's well. So today I'm going to talk about Mark the Ripper Ripley, a very feared and very respected gypsy fighter who was known for his bravery, known for his strength, and respected and feared all across the country. Legendary fighter Bartley Gorman, his own book King of the Gypsies, said about Mark Ripley, he was the best man in Kent, he was the best fighting man in Kent, and one of the most dangerous men in the whole country. Bartley even said Mark Ripley would fight against 100 men and he would never back down. And Bartley should definitely know, because he actually fought Mark Ripley and he said he was the hardest man he ever fought. They both laid into each other, it was a brutal fight, and Bartley couldn't put Mark Ripley down, he was that strong. But the fight did eventually get stopped, and obviously Bartley was victorious. But there we go, from Bartley Gorman's own words, he was the hardest man he ever faced. So Mark Ripley was born on the 11th of May 1948, and he only lived until the age of 34. He was actually shot and killed by his wife, which I'll get to at the end of the video. Mark's niece, Rosie Smith, speaks of her uncle and said he was known as a gypsy man to be very, very wary of. If you got on his good side, he'd look after you, but if you got on his bad side, he would be a very, very dangerous man to cross, and you would probably end up paying with a trip to the hospital. Rosie also said he was a very, very brave man. He would never back down, never known to back down from anything, let alone to fight another man. And even if he was even in the middle of a fight and he looked like he was going to lose the fight, he would do anything to win the fight, whether it was head, use dirty tactics, or pick something up. So he was a ferocious fighter. She also said only the toughest gypsy men would dare take on Mark Ripley. He was that much of a force. And she remembers one time when she was young, they were in a field and there was travelling families in the field. Nothing to do with Mark, but someone had stolen his dog, or his dog had gone missing. He had a hair coursing dog. So he walked up to about 20 men by himself. And he said, if I don't get my dog back by the time I've gone down to the shop with my wife, then there's going to be trouble. Apparently he went off to the shop, came back, and they'd actually got his dog back for him. So he faced up to 20 travelling men by himself. Jimmy Stockings, the well-known fighter, also talks about Mark Ripley in his book, and he rated him as well. So Rosie also said that her uncle Mark Ripley faced a lot of dangerous men in his time, but he was actually killed by his wife in 1983 at the age of 34. But she said the memory of his bravery and his exploits still lives on, and he's still talked about and respected in the gypsy community. Mark Ripley's wife shot him dead in a pub in Croydon, and it wasn't even the first time she shot him. She shot him previously before and just wounded him. But he said to her, next time you shoot me, you better kill me, because if you don't, I'm going to kill you. On the actual night that she killed Mark, she walked into the pub, pulled the gun out, and everyone got out of the way. And Mark Ripley stood there and faced her, laughing, and said, you know what I told you, don't you? In reference to saying, you'd better kill me. And she did, she shot him, killed him. And that was the end of Mark Ripley at the age of 34. A legendary fighting man, and still spoken about today. And someone who I've been asked so many times to do a video about. And I finally got around to doing it. As I'm looking into Bartley Gorman and stuff as well, I'm going to see Jerry Gorman soon. We're going to do an interview with Jerry, talking about his uncle Bartley and his dad Sam, who was also one of the top fighters. So I'm looking forward to that in a few weeks' time. So this is a tribute, a dedication to Mark Ripley. I just want to say a thank you to Bill Ripley as well, and on his Facebook page, Gypsy Fighters UK. I'll put a link in the description to that. So if you go on there, you can see more stuff on there. So thank you to Bill Ripley, and there's a link in the description. There's a tribute to Mark Ripley, one of the top fighters and most respected gypsy fighters in the country in his day. Sadly, lived only a short life. But thank you for all the likes, shares and comments. Please hit the thumbs up, and catch up soon. All the best.